So Namaskaram, welcome back to Him Talks. Today we have Sri J.P. Narayan Garu, who is one of the most prolific social reformers of our day. He has been a physician and then a successful bureaucrat, and he went into politics and made systematic changes, including 3 constitutional amendments. Sir, welcome to Him Talks. Sir, this is the time of elections and we have a very short time to go. And this time there are a lot of youngsters who are going to vote for the first time. So what would be your piece of advice to make that decision?
My appeal is please go and vote. I know on occasion you feel a sense of despair when you look at the public life of India, because between our potential and performance there is a huge gulf. But 2 things never lose sight of them. The first is we only have our vote and our voice as citizens to change. Running away from this or rejecting the system or staying at home is simply not an option. The second is there is a priceless opportunity. This election could be a very consequential one in terms of the subsequent outcomes. It doesn't matter who is elected, but the way the conditions are shaping, I believe there's a real possibility of true federalism in this country and genuine local governments, particularly in the urban areas and metropolitan cities, so that they become engines of fundamental change. So, for both these reasons, the young people of India who want a better future, who are vexed with the governance of this country and its failures, you must vote and vote with good sense, and post-election, you must raise your voice in order to see that the real kind of change that you need for this country that comes about.
So there's too much of systematic perception management handled by professional companies. If you look at Cambridge Analytica and of that sort, and also for a local party in Andhra Pradesh, there has been a campaign video. It has hit 1 crore video views, which is significant. It's like 30% of the total electorate. So what can somebody do about it? How do they discount the factor and go for the right decision?
Social media and the modern techniques of communication are a reality of life. What I appeal to the people is threefold. First, oftentimes it does not matter who is elected. You focus on what will happen after the election. Don't make election a 2020 cricket match. Don't make election a personality clash or a caste clash or a regional or religious clash. It's about what will happen post-election. And therefore, with the calculation of that in mind, you vote. The second is, in a given context, whether it's Andhra Pradesh or some other state, you look at your own circumstances. Which leader or which set of policies among the available choices, however inadequate they are, the district or the state, however bad the choices are, you always have the right answers if you look at it clinically. The third is, on a larger plane, don't bother too much about who is elected, because that's not where the salvation lies. Far too often we put all our hopes, pinned all our hopes on some individuals, and then we're disappointed and frustrated with individuals or parties. Look at the processes. Have a game plan, particularly bright young people who want to, and see in what manner your vote can be an instrument for that institutional change. For instance, I am proposing that decentralization, particularly in urban areas and metropolitan cities, genuine empowerment with accountability, and true federalism giving the states the flexibility to design their own electoral and governance models without compromising the unity and integrity of India, are 2 ways forward. If that is the case, if you have faith in that approach, then see which kind of a vote is more likely to deliver that. So if you are smart about it, you will always find choices, but equally important after voting is the voice after the vote during the next 5 years in a sensible manner. Because never doubt that a few thoughtful citizens together will make a difference if you know what exactly you are seeking for the country and for society at large.
So last question of the day. A lot of youngsters, especially professionals, want to associate with you or contribute to some extent in the way they can. So how can they associate with FDR and Lok Satta? What is a channel for that?
There are several ways. The first is, please study the literature, at least on important subjects. fdrindia.org has plenty of literature on electoral reform, on federalism, local governments, education, healthcare, farm sector, etc. And study it, marshal the evidence, apply the logic, and come to your own conclusions. You don't have to follow anybody's advice or anybody's conclusions, but at least an approach to look at the solutions. The second is those who are interested in learning more and participating in this. There are internship programs available. A significant number of interns from all over the country and the world, they come and spend time in FTR. Please do that. And the third is we are now designing an institution so that there is a regular program of training so that the next generation bright young people are prepared for transforming India. My dream is to at least have 10,000 bright young people of India trained in the next 10 years. At least if that many people are trained, they become the nucleus. They know how to think. They're not merely people who lament about problems, but they understand how to solve problems with the available resources and based on evidence and logic. And I believe that is the greatest gift to the country. If we know how to solve the problem, then we don't require heroes and leaders. We become leaders ourselves everywhere. Participate in that. And finally, from time to time, depending on the context and the opportunity, FTR and Lok Satta, they generate certain public pressure and they build some movements for specific outcomes. And wherever you are persuaded that that's the right thing, please lend your voice in whatever manner you can. And if we mean business, without compromising our personal lives and goals, we can make a difference to the collective goals. And that is the mission and that is the approach of Lok Satta and FTR.
So thank you very much for your wonderful time and thoughts, sir. Thank you very much.